Hey, right, good morning all. Hope you're all good. Sunday, the 22nd January 2023, and I'm here to bring you the week ahead forecast for Kent, Surrey, and Sussex. It would also cover London as well, where it's been a lovely week. Crystal clear, blue skies after that Arctic air mass arrived on Monday. Things have been frosty and cold. As the week's gone on, it's become slowly less cold. But yeah, it's still very wintry out there and we're still getting the frosts. And if we take a look at the stats so far this month, this is for the weather station at Westmoreland, we'll see that certainly for the first half of the month, temperatures were very mild. We were exceeding 10 degrees every day, but we experienced that change in the weather pattern on Sunday evening. Heavy rain pushed through. There was a little bit of hill snow on the back edge, and it's since turned colder, and that can be seen on the temperatures here. It was wet for the first 2 weeks of the month at around about 80 mil, but ever since we've had this change in weather pattern, things have dried up. Now I'm going to look at the week ahead. There are some changes on the way, but they are very, very slow. So what we'll do is we'll just take a quick look at the anomaly chart as we usually do. Cold air is still in place over the UK, as you can see. Less cold air in the Atlantic is trying to push in, and that's been a battle that's been going on for a few days now, but high pressure is standing firm. It's batting off that less cold air, and this is why we're still relatively cold and still quite frosty. This is the reason why, if we look at the facts chart this morning, there's that huge area of high pressure, 1040 millibars, just sitting to the south of Norway, and it's extending its ridge right the way down across England and Wales, keeping us high and dry at the moment. But things will move, things will change, and if we move that facts chart forward a few days, I'll show you for why. But just a quick show of the moment as that high pressure is in control, keeping all those rain bearing fronts well out to the west. So we'll look at the reason why it's dry at the moment. And if we take a look at my favourite, the jet stream, there's the blue. Now the blue represents the a lull in the jet stream, and the red represents where the actual core of the jet stream is running. And if you think of the area of blue as a pebble in the stream, or the pebble in the river, or a boulder in the river, that's stopping all the usual weather patterns from blowing over the UK. So if you look at the bigger picture, imagine someone's dropped a great big boulder over the UK. The water's got to go somewhere. It normally goes to the north of us. Sometimes it finds its way to the south. But what generally happens when you've got this, if you've got the boulder over, you've got the area of high pressure over you, and you stay dry and fine under high pressure. But high pressure in January does not translate to heat, sunshine, and endless blue to blue wall sunshines, because we're in a different season. So that's for another day anyway. Let's look at the here and now. High pressure, well in control at the moment, keeping us dry, fine, and settled. But we'll see that over the next couple of days, that high pressure starts to move out into the Atlantic. So here it is today over the UK. Here it is on Wednesday morning. See how that's moved further west, and it's allowing a cold front to move down the country. And then if we move it forward to Thursday, look what's happened. The cold front has gone through. The high pressure is still in the Atlantic, but we've pulled down clean up northerly air. And this cold front that I'm going to show is going to be really significant this week in dictating the way the weather will pan out. We've got a huge risk this week in the form of fog. High pressure stagnates the air. Warmer air tries to get above, the land gets cold, it becomes dense, and fog starts to form. So I'm going to run through the fog risk scenario this week. This isn't exact, but the red represents where the thickest fog is going to be, and elsewhere is shown where there isn't likely to be any fog. But this is very indicative. So this Monday morning, we wake up, many parts of southeast England are under that fog. We look at Tuesday morning, again, perhaps not quite so extensive, but it is a hazard. If you're driving on the roads, even in Kent, do look out for this, because it really doesn't take too much of a change in temperature or humidity for it to form. Look at Wednesday morning, really, really extensive. Now, we moved forward to Thursday morning and it's gone. And the reason for that is that cold front that we saw on that facts chart. The way that that's come through, that's pushed through, it's taken all that stagnant air and it's introduced like a resurgence of polar air. So we'll run through the loop from the GFS this morning very quickly. So today is dry, it's fine. It's a bit cloudy at the moment, but that cloud should break up and there should be some sunny spells. But overnight it stays clear. There'll be a little bit of cloud, and where the skies are clear, fog will form. And so that's the case for today. It's the case for tomorrow. Variable cloud, sunny spells, dry and cool. I'll come on to the temperatures in just a moment. Weather pattern for Tuesday, much the same. Early fog, clearing, freezing fog. Could be slow to clear in some parts of the county, but generally dry and bright with some sunny spells. Very much the same as we go into Wednesday. A lovely, dry, fine, and bright day. That fog, as I've mentioned, very slow to clear, freezing fog. It could be problematical, but look towards the north at the end of the afternoon. A cold front, a weak cold front, is going to be pushing southwards across the country. This is it by 6 o'clock on Wednesday, and this is it by Wednesday evening at 9 o'clock. This is likely to be the only rain we're going to see this week. But this cold weather front is significant in clearing the fog risk. So this is the cold front that will bring in the cleaner air in readiness for Thursday. So Thursday we'll lose the fog risk, but what we may well then be doing is bringing air back in off the North Sea, and that perhaps brings in a little bit more cloud towards the end of the week. Risk of the odd shower close to those southeastern coasts. Run it forward. High pressure is very much in control. If you look towards Ireland, there's the high again, 1039. So it's never too far away. Always going to keep us dry. Always going to keep us fine. But again, towards the weekend, that high pressure sticks around long enough. We do bring in that fog risk again overnight. So that's that. We'll now look at the temperatures for the week. So today, 4s and 5s. If we look at tomorrow, we're going to see maxes of 6s and 7s. Worth mentioning, if you're stuck under any fog for a prolonged period of time, these temperatures will be colder. By Tuesday, we're around about 6 degrees, so we're still below average, aren't we? And again, this is because we're probably a mist and fog that will be slow to clear into afternoon sunny spells. Wednesday, even colder, maxes of 5, really chilly feel, and once again, that's because we'll probably be struggling to get rid of some of that fog. But by Thursday, there you go. Look, maxes of 8 degrees. Now the air is cleaner. It's cooler above, but because we've lost that fog, we've lost that stagnancy. We'll be bringing in probably more in the way of bright or sunny spells, and hence the reasons for a milder day on Thursday. By Friday, we're at 7s and 8s, and then we move towards next weekend. Highs of 5 or 6, perhaps 7 are really the order of the day, because high pressure would be probably starting to move over again and slow those temperatures down. We'll look at the overnight temperatures. So if we start the sequence tonight, or should we start the sequence tomorrow morning? Very cold, very frosty towards the west of the county. We've still got a bit of that northeasterly breeze keeping those eastern coasts less cold. Move it through. For some reason on here, it's not showing such a cold night on Monday night to Tuesday. I can only assume that there's probably a little bit more breeze around. But on Wednesday morning, temperatures once again close to zero, just below in many inland and western parts of the county with that fog risk. Thursday morning, things are less cold. That's because there would have been more cloud around. There would have been that rain clearing overnight. 4s and 5s we wake up to on Thursday. And then towards the end of the week, we're at 2s, 3s and 4s. And that is because we're likely to be bringing in air off that southern North Sea, which is a little bit less cold. The frosts are further west under that high pressure, but high pressure nevertheless does start to move across us at the weekend. It brings back the frost risk, it brings back the fog risk, but we remain dry. So that's the temperatures. We'll now just quickly take a look at the winds. So these are the winds at the moment, all very light, all very variable at the moment. This is the way it's going to stay for the next 2 or 3 days. So these are your winds on Monday. We go into Tuesday. If you notice, there is a little bit more of a northeasterly breeze, and that's perhaps why we have a slightly less cold night on Monday. We move forward to Tuesday, then into Wednesday. Light winds, high pressure, well in control. The fog risk is probably most extensive on Wednesday morning. But then look towards the north, towards the end of the day. This is 6 o'clock Wednesday, and then those winds start to swing back into the north as we bring that cold clearance front through. And then, yeah, Thursday, bright breezy, cloudy near those east coasts, but the frost risk does start to reduce again. And then towards the weekend, there you see it, look, high pressure starts to edge back closer again. The winds start to fall light, the temperatures overnight start to fall, and then we bring back that potential fog risk again. Right, I'm just going to start wrapping all this up now. So just for fun, these are the 2 meter temperature trends this week. So slowly climbing as we go through the week, but still below average. The pressure remains high throughout. Really, no low pressure, nothing really looking unsettled until at least early February, and then even then, it's looking quite settled at the moment. As you can imagine, with high pressure in control, very little rain as well. So the rainfall spike as we go into the 26th is our clearance front, as we've mentioned a few times in this forecast. And just for fun, we like to have a little look at any snow potential on offer. Very, very little, scant offerings, as it has been for most of the winter down here in the extreme southeast of England. Just the odd ensemble showing just the chance after the 27th. But I think on the balance of probability, it's fair to say that that isn't going to be the case, and we stay mainly dry, fine light winds, and fog and frost at night. So I hope you've all enjoyed the forecast. I hope we're going to see a few more scenes like this week. Yeah, but in the meantime, really enjoying your interaction with me on this. Really liking all the comments. I'm really enjoying doing it. But please do subscribe, do share, and make this a bit of a thing. All look after yourselves. Have a great day. Thanks for watching, and ciao for now.